Hello and welcome to a brand new week here on my channel. My name is Samantha and today I'm going to be sharing with you a brand new palette from iHeartRevolution, and it is the Tasty Avocado palette. So let's have a little bit of a tour of the packaging. So it is lemon with green lettering on it. You can see iHeartRevolution there and that it's 100% tasty there. Then you have the measurement. So you have 0.77 ounces or 22 grams of product. You also have that window there. So if you do spot these in the store, you can be able to see it very, very clearly. And then turning it over, you have the layout of the pans themselves, very much like the chocolate bar palette. You have the brand name, obviously the name of the palette, so Tasty Avocado, ingredients, and that it's cruelty free. And then on the side it says that it is so good for you. This palette retails for £10. There's 3 within the collection and you can pick them up from either not iHeartRevolution, you can pick them up from either superdrug.com or revolutionbeauty.com. Inside the palette you have one of these shiny sheets, and this is what the palette looks like. So this is what it looks like. Obviously an avocado. I wasn't sure of this one when I shared it with you last Wednesday because I thought it was very squishy, but actually it's not too bad. It still looks like a cartoon to me, but it's not as bad in person as when you look at it from a picture. So yeah, and I just didn't want it to be, I don't know, padded, and it's not. So a lot better than what I expected. Of course, it's giving you an indication of the shades inside, which is mainly green. And in fact, that's why I picked this one up. They have actually released over the last week or so quite a number of palettes, and I'm looking for now palettes that are a little bit different. I really wanted to get the Turkish Delight palette, but one of you let me know that there's a lot of pressed glitters in there, and I'm really not into glitter. I do like it. I love the look of it. I really like it in palettes, but on me it always, I don't know, hurts my eyes, irritates them, so I'm staying away from the glitter, which I'm really disappointed about because I really love the look of that palette. So I picked this one up. It's absolutely beautiful, and of course I'll be showing you that in a moment. It is that thick, very much again like their chocolate bar palettes. Turning it over, you have that green shiny base, and then you have a sticker there with, of course, the same information that I mentioned on the box. So opening it up, you do have one of these horrible sheets inside, which I've removed, and you also do have, just like their chocolate bar palettes, a large mirror. Now I've already swatched the shades, so it won't look brand new, but that's why, because I've already swatched them. And then this is what it looks like inside. Absolutely beautiful, gorgeous. I'm particularly drawn to this shade here, called, what's that one called? California. And I'm really pleased that they've actually put the names of the shades on the palette there. You've got all sorts of shades in here, from neutral browns to obviously like goldy greens, but most of it is dedicated to green. So I really, really like that. When I swatched it, I think the only disappointment, there was 2 shades that disappointed me. One was this one here called Hass, which is a very, very dark green shade, and then this one right beside it, which is called guacamole. I never know how to pronounce it, but you know what I mean. And it's that one there, very powdery and didn't swatch particularly well. But as I always say, it depends on how it works on the eyes. So I'll just go through the swatches for you. So we start off with this one here called Smash. Beautiful. Then we have, so of course that's a shimmer. Then we move on to a matte shade called Toast. We have another matte shade called Avo. We have this beautiful shade called California. Love it so, so much. Of course that's a shimmer. Another shimmer called Smoothie, and we have a matte called Half. Beautiful. Turning my arm over, we move on to the second row, and we start off with that shade Hass. It just was very patchy for me, but you know, it went on for a while there. That's obviously one of the shades that I was disappointed with. This one even more so, and you can see why it didn't go on smoothly. It was very patchy. Then we move on to our first shimmer of the second row called Brunch. This is gorgeous, green gold, and that's exactly what that shade looks like. Then we have Mousse, which, I mean, it just went on and on. A shimmery brown, of course, and then we have Stone there, which is less intense, but it has got some shimmer to it. So Stone, very unusual shade, that one. Then I had to put some swatches on this arm. So then we move on to the third row. So we've got Stone. I can't even see it. It's the same as my skin tone, but it's that one there. You can just about make it out. Then we have this one here called Bite. This one here is called Pear. We have another shimmer there. Let me just turn around. There we go. That's better. So Pear. Then we have this one here called Foodie. Yeah. Then we have this matte brown called Seed. And then this matte. Again, it's one of those shades. I'm going to double it up. It's one of those very powdery shades. And that one is called Lime. I do find green is very difficult to, I don't know, it must be difficult to make, because the matte shades in particular, like Lime there, I don't know, I've doubled that up now and you can still see my skin through it, but like I say, it is how it applies on the eye. So now I'm going to get into my look, and got all my brushes here. So I'm going to kickstart the look off with, of course, a Primark eye contour brush. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm always inspired by what I'm wearing, and I put on a green top, so I don't know. I think I'm going to start it off with the shade Half, which is this one here. See how that applies and what it looks like on the eye. So now that's picked up quite a bit. So I've already primed my eye with, as always, the Revolution Pro Eye Element in Central. I'm just patting it in because it always gets stuck in the crease a little bit. So here we go. Okay. I think I'm just going to press it on actually, rather than blend it. I might blend it out in a minute. But that has applied okay. Just going to pat it, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, with the, just on the edge, I'm just going to blend that out a little bit. Yeah, just going to pop a little bit more on. That blended out, but I also want it up a little bit. That's better. Okay, now for the other eye. So again, I'm going to stamp, use the shape of the brush. And I'm just going to, you can see that it, I don't know, it doesn't blend. I'm trying to blend it out now. You have to stamp it on, otherwise it just blends out. It's actually not too bad now. So I'm just going to use the edge of the brush just to blend that out a little bit. I might have to even go in with a fresh brush. That's better. That is better. Okay, I'm just going to go back into that shade Half and just deepen that out here. A little bit more here. Like that. Still feel there's a little bit of a difference this side. That's better. Okay, I'm going to also get that shade Half. I'm going to pop it underneath the eye. I mean, if you like green, you're going to love this palette. Okay, so that's the base shade applied. So I've just used the shade half at the moment. Now what I want to do is I want to go in with another colour. And I think I'm going to go in with the shade Seed, which is, or should I go in with Toast? Oh, it's a tricky one. I think I'm going to swap to Toast there, and I'm going to get a fresh brush, and I'm going to get a little bit of Toast. Wow, that is very, very pigmented, that one. And then I'm going to pop that here. Get some more of that. I'm not sure. It's turning into a little bit of a muddy mess. So I'm going to do exactly what I did on the other eye, and then I'm going to have to deepen it up with a green, I think. This has got a little bit of green in it, but I don't know, it's just going a little bit muddy in the crease. I'm going to try go in with the shade Hass. That's better. That is better. It's not the look that I wanted, but that is better. I'm going to also not get any more on the brush. I'm a little surprised by that, because the brown, it's just gone very, very muddy. I'm going to get a little bit of, go with my first brush and just go over this, because where the brown is, I don't know, it just looks like a bit of a muddied mess. And all the shades should mix with each other. Yeah, that definitely looks better. I did not like it with the brown on there at all. Okay, I'm going to keep to those mattes, and I think I'm going to go in, I really want that California shade, which is, let me just point out the shades that I've used. So I went in with half to start with, which is that one there, beautiful. Then of course I tried to add Toast there, which is that brown shade, didn't work. And then I went in with that one there called Hass. It's a very, very dark green. It's like a bottle green. It doesn't look like it in the pan, but it is. And then of course, I'm now going to go in with the shimmer. And I think I'm going to go in with California, that one there. See what that looks like. It is just calling my name. Oh, yeah. That is absolutely beautiful. That is so rich and so vibrant. That is, well, stunning. gorgeous. I still think there's something missing. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to, let me look at the mirror close up. I don't know. I'm going to get a little bit more hass on there. You'll have to let me know what you think of this look. For me, the only shade that I really like from it is that gold on my eye. Like goldy green. There's just, I don't know what it is, there's like a mid-tone shade missing, and what I've found is that so basically there's a lot of these shades, like I've put that on first of all, but there's nothing in between that and a dark shade. I've either got to go in with a really light mid-tone, or light to mid-tone brown, and then go straight in with that. I've tried to put the mid-tone browns on and it's just not working. I might just go underneath the eye. It just doesn't look right to me. I'm going to try Seed, which is the brown underneath. I'm just not liking the look. It's green, but it's not earthy enough for me. So I'm going in with Seed. I don't know. I'm just not liking the look at all. I'm going to put some more shimmer on now. I think now I've put that brown on, it actually looks a little bit better. There was just like a tone missing. It just went from, let me just try Seed again. Yeah, I think we're getting there now. Yeah. Right, now I'm going to go for an inner corner shade. I don't know whether to just carry California on because I love it so much. I wish that they would bring out a palette with all of these kind of shades. I do think that these greens are great. But these golden greens are what I'm really loving at the moment. Obviously they're not going to make a palette just for me, but I just really love golden greens. Gorgeous. Okay, I think adding that shade Seed has, well, I feel that it saved my look. I'm just going to apply a little bit of liner. Obviously everything else that I'm wearing makeup wise I will list down below. That's better. For me, I don't personally like really bright greens on my eye. I like green, but it's got to be an earthy colour. It's just what I prefer. Mascara, and you know, this palette has got a lot of a real mix actually of, you know, light greens. The only mid-tone shades that are in here is those two brown shades, and then you jump straight onto a really deep, you know, that really deep, nearly black green. Okay, I'm just adding, of course, a little bit of mascara. think the first brown was just, it muddied it up, but the second brown that I used, Seed, I mean, they look very, very similar in the palette, but actually on the eye they worked very, very differently. Okay. And that is my finished look. Okay, using the new Tasty Avocado palette. Let me just show you close up. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. So that is my look, and I think I managed to save the look. I'll just give you my review and my thoughts on this palette. So out of all of the palettes that iHeart Revolution released, this one really spoke to me because I have eyeshadow palettes. I don't have as many as everybody thinks because I don't keep everything that I share with you. I usually gift them away because I don't like every single palette that I share, so I don't have that much of a collection. But what I do have, I'm very particular about what I generally keep, and I also have a lot of colours. I've got colourful palettes, I've got neutral palettes, I've got pink, I've got mauve, I've got all of that. So when I look to purchase a palette, I want something different. So when I look at a lot of the new releases from the brand, I generally find that a lot of them I've seen before in other palettes, so a lot of shades I've seen before, or they are shades that I've already got, you know, even if they're similar, sometimes those looks will look, you know, similar on the eye, won't they? And they'll create similar looks. So when I saw this one, I thought, yes, I've got to have it because it's different. I wasn't too keen on the packaging, but I must admit, close up and personal, it does look better. But yeah, when I look at this one, I do think that there are some really workable shades and there's some beautiful looks to be had. Now I particularly love, of course, that California shade, that one there that I've got on the lid. I wish that there was more shades like that within this palette. It's just beautiful. Absolutely stunning. In fact, I wish that they would do a palette that has got these grungy golds, you know, in there. Of course, my favourite palette of all time is Melt Cosmetics, their Gemini palette, and I think that shade there could certainly be a dupe. It certainly looks like, well, it wouldn't look out of place in that palette. It's beautiful. I also think that when you think of green, you think of lime and mint, and I think that that's what the brand has done. They've actually gone, you know, they've gone for those mints, they've gone for those greens that, I don't know, like mints, I don't know. I wish that they had gone more for those kind of shades, those grungy, something a little bit different, because I do feel that a lot of the greens in here have been done before. I really do like, however, the first shade that I applied, which was Half. I like that. Like I say, I really love that one. I really I've got to think about what I'm saying, because I don't just want to, I want to bring the positive to this palette without, obviously this is difficult for me because I'm brand new to green. I've never liked green and I've never really wanted to wear green. It is a recent thing, but I really do like those grungy greens. I don't want to wear all out green on my eye, it's just not me, but I thought I'd give this a go. I think this is definitely a 7 out of 10 for me. The only thing that I'm a little bit disappointed on was that I found that some of the shades didn't work together. I had to add a brown to really get that mix, which is what I like, or how I like to wear my shadow. I also think that some of the mid-tones are missing from here as well. I think you go from really light shades to deep. You saw that, and it wasn't until I added that shade there, Seed. Was it Seed? So I think I added Toast to start with, so Seed, that it really all came together. I really like the look, but I just wish that they had gone a little bit more grungy. But yeah, don't get me wrong, love the eye look. The formula on some of the shimmers as well is absolutely beautiful, but I did find when I swatched them that there was a lot of fallout, not just from the mattes but also from the shimmers, and also you get a real mix as always, because you can see that this is definitely more intense than, I don't know, this, is it that one there? Shall we say this one here? So there is a real mix of formulas in here as always. I'm not disappointed that I picked this one up, because I think if I play around with it a little bit more, I'm going to get some really amazing looks from it. But yeah, really, really love it. It's just, I'm always a little bit on the fence with green because it's not my first choice. I always want to go for those mauvey shades, those pinks and those nudes. So again, green, I'm going to have to get used to it. But one thing I do know, I wish that they had put more grungy tones in here, like that shade California, rather than going for you know, those usual shades of, you know, all out green. And I think also this kind of shade here, lime, we could have done without that, and perhaps more of a shade to match that California, because I don't know, I just don't like shades like that. That is just my preference. But all in all, the look turned out well after a little while, and yeah, I really do like it. It just means that I've got to play around with the palette a little bit more. Like I say, 7 out of 10 does reflect that. Once I've used it a little bit more, it could be certainly a 9 out of 10. But anyway, I'd love your thoughts as always. What are you thinking to this palette? What are you thinking to the packaging? Still not 100% about it, but at least it's not squishy. And like I say, avocados are my favourite thing to eat, or one of my favourite. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. It doesn't smell. I thought I forgot to mention whether it smells. Obviously, avocado is one of those you know, edibles that is not necessarily, you know, very intense, but there's no scent to this, just because obviously I'm thinking that it's like their chocolate bar palettes. So yeah, are you going to pick this one up? What do you think about the price rise? Because this one is £10. You're paying £10 extra. No, not £10 extra. You're paying, what is it, £1? Not, yeah, £1 extra, because they're £8.99, they're chocolate bar palettes, aren't they? So you're paying £1 extra for this palette. So what are your thoughts about that? What are your thoughts, sorry, about this tasty range? I'd love to hear that. Obviously, anything that I've mentioned today, I would love to hear your thoughts on. Obviously, if you have just stumbled across my channel, I would love it if you subscribe to watch further videos. I am now going to be back on Wednesday. If you didn't see last week's video, last Friday's video, I am now going to be changing my videos, well, when I post videos, I'm going to be now posting videos on a Monday, Wednesday and a Friday. And yeah, so I'll be back on Wednesday with everything that's new from Revolution. If Revolution don't release, well, I think they've already released some new products, so I should be back on Wednesday. If there's going to be no extra products, say for example, you know, if they don't release something on a Wednesday, then of course I will post a video on what's new on Friday. But yeah, I will be back on Wednesday for you with everything that's new, hopefully. If not, it will be Friday, and I'll fill in with something else on Wednesday. I'd love, like I say, to hear your thoughts on that as well, but I will be back now on Wednesday. I will look forward to seeing you then. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.